This Texas Democrat fled to Illinois to stop Abbott and Trump's allies from forcing through a gerrymandered map. Here's what he had to say.
Texas Republicans have issued a warrant for my arrest for breaking quorum with my House Democratic colleagues to stop Trump's redistricting power grab. Governor Abbott has even threatened to vacate my seat, to remove me from my democratically elected position as a Texas state representative. Yesterday, Trump asked his FBI director, Kash Patel, to send in federal agents to come find us.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton sparked outrage, telling supporters to hunt down Democratic lawmakers who fled the state. Rhetoric critics say crosses into inciting violence. Here's his exact words.
And Ken Paxton put up a tweet asking his followers to, quote, hunt us down. My colleagues and I are here in Illinois at what we thought was a safe location, but this morning a bomb threat was called into our hotel. My colleagues and I are safe, and we have one message: we will not be deterred. Because this is bigger than us. This is bigger than any one politician or any one political party. This is about whether the people, Democrats, independents, and Republicans alike, can change their government from the bottom up, whether they can elect the candidates of their choice, whether they can hold powerful people accountable. Let me explain. Usually, state legislators adjust district boundaries at the beginning of every decade to account for population changes after a new census. That's called redistricting. And my Texas Republican colleagues already did that in 2021. But now Trump is asking them to redraw the Texas maps in the middle of the decade because he wants 5 more seats, because he's worried about losing his majority in Congress in the 2026 midterms, because he's wrecking the economy, starting wars, and protecting pedophiles, because he's kicking millions of people off their health care to fund tax breaks for his billionaire friends. So he's trying to shield himself from the voters. He's trying to shield himself from accountability. But to pass these new maps, a certain number of legislators have to be on the floor of the Texas House to conduct business. That's called a quorum. My Democratic colleagues and I are not going to give them one. By attempting to redistrict in the middle of the decade, Republicans are cheating. It's like 2 football teams coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules in the second half to win the game. It's cheating, plain and simple. And if they're going to cheat, we're not going to play. We may not be in Texas, but we are fighting for our constituents. We are fighting for free and fair elections in every community. Because when politicians draw their own lines, when they draw our districts into these crazy shapes, when they crack and pack communities of color, it's called gerrymandering. It's basically politicians manufacturing the outcome they want. It's politicians insulating themselves from the will of the public. Politicians shouldn't choose their voters. Voters should choose their politicians. Both political parties gerrymander, Democrats in blue states, Republicans in red states, but not this brazenly, not this discriminatory, and not in the middle of the decade in an effort to rig the upcoming election at the direct request of the President of the United States. This is not an issue of party, it's an issue of power. People in power want to stay in power, and that's what the Republican Party is doing right now. And they are led by a president who has shown a complete disdain for the peaceful transfer of power. The future of our republic is on the line. Greg Abbott claims that we've abandoned our responsibilities, but we're doing exactly what we were elected to do. I didn't swear an oath to Donald Trump. I swore an oath to the Constitution. So we'll stay out of Texas until this corrupt special session ends. We'll be here in the land of Lincoln, which is appropriate because Abraham Lincoln broke quorum as a state senator back in 1840 by jumping out of the window of the Illinois state capitol. Thankfully, I didn't have to jump out of any windows back in Texas. We're participating in a long American tradition of standing up to bullies, of speaking truth to power, of civil disobedience, of good trouble.
MAGA says they're patriots, but real patriotism means defending the Constitution, not blindly following one man. Going after lawmakers for using the democratic process isn't patriotic. Follow for more news they don't want you to see.